Hello, my darlings. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Lucie, and on this channel, I share all kinds of things about personal development, spirituality, and how to become the best version of you. So, in today's video, I have a very special guest speaker. We're going to be doing a Zoom call because this incredibly inspiring lady, a woman called Ashleigh, who's based in the US, she has such an inspiring story for anyone who might be going through a difficult time right now, difficult time emotionally, difficult time with addiction, difficult time with self-love, okay, with negative thoughts. If you're going through anything like that right now, or you know anyone who is, her story is really going to inspire you because she has used law of attraction, personal development, working on herself, working on her mindset, and she's an absolute boss at scripting, which, as you guys know, is my favorite law of attraction technique to manifest more of what you want into your life. So she literally scripts her way out of any situation now. So she's going to explain to us the ins and outs of her scripting technique, of how she uses it even on her toughest days to get herself out of a dark place and into the light. And it's actually literally crazy how fast her manifestations are now coming true as a result. So without further ado, let's get on to the Zoom call. Hi, Ashleigh.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thanks. So excited that we are doing
I
this
know,
call together.
finally.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm really looking forward to actually hearing a bit more about your manifestation success stories, and not just the manifestation success, but literally like what you do, because clearly the way that you are scripting is working.
Mhm. It
So,
is.
can you tell us a little bit about your approach and then also like the success that you've got?
Sure. So with my scripting, I use affirmations. So it's like affirmations, but it's also going into detail, like what it feels like, what it smells like, like that type of thing. And then I try to visualize it too. And I also use meditation. Like I put a lot of different things into it. And I have like a morning and a night routine because you, if you're having like let's say a negative day for some reason, you want to take the script, you want to rewrite that story at night before you go to bed so it goes in your subconscious.
Mm.
So I take the scripting and I rewrite the story, I flip it, and I use like very strong affirmations like I control myself, I control my thoughts, I'm confident, um I'm a money magnet, my business is booming. And then I go into detail of what I am wanting in life or what I already have.
Hmm.
And then at the end, I use affirmations again. I close it off with affirmations and thank you, universe.
Wow, amazing. So I loved that you mentioned if you've had a day that hasn't been so great, but you're aware of the fact that it's so important how you close up your day energetically. So
Hmm.
that would probably be really helpful for people to hear about, because it's always easy to be positive on the good days, right? And it's always easy to grab your journal and do some manifestation stuff on the good days. But yeah, how do you get yourself from, a day where maybe everything seems to have gone wrong and then flip that?
Well, I've noticed too, like I've become like the observer I'm at that level where like the observer. And so you kind of have to get into that mindset, like even though everything might feel like it's falling apart at the moment, you have to reaffirm that it's not. And it in the beginning it can be kind of tough and tricky, but you have to like figure out a way for you how to affirm like no, that ego's sitting in the back seat, I'm the driver, you know what I mean? So I try to, when if I'm in a bad mindset, like I try to distract myself from that, and I'm like, no, this is how it is. Everything's working out. Everything's unfolding for me. And then I just get into like, I put myself in a routine, like meditation, scripting, whatever, to help my vibration get higher. Um, and sometimes actually getting a coach or online course also helps a lot. And like watching the YouTube videos, and also not putting back, like watching the news and stuff like that, because you don't want to look at that stuff and let that become your reality either, because that could really drain your energy too.
Absolutely.
Putting content, any kind of content that's like, you know, it's funny that I say that, because the other day I kind of started going into that rabbit hole of watching everything that's going on in the beauty community. And I started watching a little bit of one video after the other, and I felt so off for like a whole entire day, because I'm like an empath, and I really had to, for a couple days, had to really like redo everything almost. So it's really best what you pick out, what you're watching, what you're doing, observing your thoughts, trying to get your mindset into a better spot, and just script. Like, honestly, it has changed my life so much.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. And I can completely relate. I'm sure most people can relate to what you're saying there about how, one event or absorbing some negative energy from one person or one group of people can knock you for, can be days sometimes. So if people are watching this and maybe they're in that state at the moment, it takes that real extra effort to pull yourself out of that place and get yourself high vibing again, right? So
Yeah.
would you be happy to, do you have any of your scripting letters with you now? Would you be happy to like
Sure.
get some examples?
Sure. I actually put it on my lap because I figured that we could do this. That way people can kind of get like an example or an idea.
Cool.
So this I wrote on June 30th, and then I'm gonna kind of like tell you that what has actually happened from this, because that's very important for people to know the success behind this.
So June
So this,
30th, and it is currently July 14th. So we're
yeah.
literally 2 weeks later. Okay.
Okay, so I control my self thoughts and what happens to me every day. I am a rich goddess. My special person loves me extremely and is falling in love with me heavily, respects me. People are always looking up to me, buying from me all the time, every day, all day. My business is always booming with ease. I am making millions of dollars every day, all day, effortlessly and with ease. I am always thinking positive things of myself and other people. I am always learning about manifestation. My thoughts are always evolving, and I'm always evolving as a person every day. My 3D world doesn't affect me. Only what I feel and think matters. My YouTube is booming and viral, along with my online courses, my book, OnlyFans, etc. I have so many paying streams, and I have a big, beautiful house in Florida, making $10,000 a day, living on the beach, traveling wherever we want. My SP lives with me, and then it just goes so on and so forth. And the Florida thing I have pretty much. The other night I went on Airbnb, and it's not my own house, but that's not the point. It's the point of it's still my manifestation. So I'm going to be living literally next 5 minutes from the beach that I'm like scripting about.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And I got the different pay streams, as you know. And
Yeah.
my YouTube is going off. So it's in fruition. You know what I mean? Like and that's the thing. For the past month, I've been getting signs everywhere: Amazon, Instagram, YouTube, so many different things have been coming in my way, and I take those signs. That's the whole point. You have to take the signs that universe is giving you,
Absolutely.
because it's almost like this is a stepping stone for me, and it could be for them too, you guys. And even if it's something small, it's going to take you to something big.
Wow. I think actually that's the most important part. Well, it's all important, but like so what Ashleigh shared in her scripting letter is incredible. But then what I've seen, I've only known Ashleigh for a few short weeks, right? But from day one of knowing her, she just is constantly seeing the signs and grabbing the signs, seeing the opportunity and seizing it and taking action on it. And that is really, I think, the definition of aligned action, right? So she's focusing her mind, her energy, her conscious, her subconscious towards this beautiful letter that she's writing constantly of things that she wants. And then the fact, Ashleigh, that you reached out, we connected, right? We saw that there was potential to collaborate, and we had a
Mhm.
beautiful video call, and we're now actually in business together. So behind the scenes of YouTube, we're now business partners. And so all of those things that you wrote, Ashleigh, about building multiple streams of income and things to do with your health and everything, like it's almost like the universe found you, well, one in particular, our business opportunity that ticks like at least 4 things off the letter all at once. And then in addition, the fact that you felt the impulse. Didn't you say that you don't normally check Airbnb, but you were like, let's just see what's going on in that part of the world. And there was the perfect place that fitted your budget, that fitted the location perfectly. And it
Yep.
was like it was almost waiting there for you, but you had to go to Airbnb and look it up. The apartment wasn't just going to knock on your door, right? You had to take
Right.
that inspired action, and I love that. It's such an important part that I think sometimes people forget.
Yeah. And on my podcast I was talking about this, it's not something about falling through the roof onto your lap. It's more like of an idea that you get and the signs that you get, and it's up to you whether you take that intuition and run with it. I mean, there have been stories like, people on The Secret have said they've gotten random checks in the mail and stuff like that, and I think Ella Ringrose said the same thing. But it's mainly the signs and the intuition, and also what you do with yourself, how you work on yourself, and you kind of have to meet the universe halfway.
I completely agree. Yes, there is that element to it, and I think it's a good point about The Secret. I think it's a fantastic book, documentary, a
Hmm.
great introduction, door opener for many people to understand the general concept of the law of attraction. But it where it perhaps lacks some detail is the idea of, how do you combine that with, not grinding really hard, but like being open to the signs and taking action that's going to take you those next steps. Because you're right, it's nice to hear about the random miracles of checks coming in through the mail, but that I almost feel like disempowers people a little bit. If people could hear the idea that, yeah, you can have anything that you want, and just stay open to the signs and move in that direction. Don't just sit there, don't just meditate, don't just script, but move. you know I think even more people would find more success with the law of attraction that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I feel like they didn't really. I like The Secret, and I actually started what Bob Proctor's who I started watching a year ago, and he's amazing too. He's made, like, he's a multimillionaire, and he's really, his content is amazing, but I just feel like they lacked so much detail because, you know you have to basically, in your mind, it's like cleaning out a house. You want new stuff in your house. You have to dust the walls, you have to clean the carpets, you have to, make sure that the walls aren't yellow and have marks on them from picture frames, and you have to clean it all out in order to bring that beautiful new stuff in there and build from the bottom back up. You know what I mean? Like, that's the same thing with your mind. It's also like having a cut on your arm. You have to make sure that it stays healthy and clean, but not constantly pick at it and pick at it and pick at it and let the new skin grow back. So there's no scarring and no gunk in there. It's the same thing. And when you manifest something, you can't hold on to it either. Like, you can't, like, where is it? Oh my God, where is it? You know, you have to like just let things flow. Um, because that's just how it is with everything. Like, you know, it's like when you're in a relationship, if you're texting your boyfriend or girlfriend too much and you're clingy and you're this and that and the other thing with your other half, they're not going to want to stay with you. They're going to be pushed further away. So you
Right.
have to be open to receiving the manifestation, taking the signs, and working on yourself while you're waiting for that to come into place.
Mm. So that's a really good point, and I think that's a question I get asked almost more than any other on my channels is how do you let go? How do you forget or surrender to the process? How do you trust? So what advice would you have for that?
Um, well, first of all, you need to listen to your intuition, and you need to really just affirm your new reality. Like, no, the universe has my back. You know what I mean? You have to rewrite your story, and you know, you create your reality. What's going on in this world right now, that's not your reality. You have to put in your mind that you have patience. And then, you know, I think that going to do something else and keeping your mind away from it, going somewhere else and like doing something else, like, you know, going to watch YouTube videos or take a walk, you know what I mean? Like, keep your mind busy and focus on yourself as well. Like, go, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
go meditate. Just
Yeah,
get an online course. You know, do things for yourself in the meantime. I really think that's important. Like,
yeah,
that way you're not sitting there all day thinking and looking at the watch where it is. You know,
yeah.
the manifestation is coming to you. As long as the universe sees that you're working on yourself and loving yourself and treating your body good and treating your mind good, you're going to get the things that you want. So in the meantime of waiting for your manifestation, also thinking like this is, my manifestation's already here. I just can't see it yet. Put that in your mind.
Mm.
You know, keep affirming that and it will start to, you'll start to believe it, you know.
Mm, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a really good point about, shifting your focus and moving
Mhm.
on to something that's going to just bring you joy, get you into a high vibrational flow state. And then you're
Mhm.
removing resistance, which is the biggest. That's why the purpose of letting go is there, right? Because if you're not letting
Mhm.
go, there's resistance going, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? So it's just an idea of like, do something else that is not going, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen?
Right, exactly.
And I recorded another YouTube video today actually about, specifically about like why is it that sometimes things are really slow to manifest for people? It's really inspiring to watch YouTube videos of like manifestation success in 10 days, somebody got this. But it's also pretty demotivating for somebody who maybe has been scripting or doing this law of attraction technique or that one for 10 months and not seeing anything come to fruition. So what I said in that video is that, and this is something one of my mentors taught me, you will receive that blessing when you're ready for it, like when you are equipped to be able to handle that new level of success, that new level of abundance. Giving just like money as one example,
Mhm.
I had zero money management skills last year, even up until last year.
Mhm.
Money would come in my account, money would go out of my account, and I didn't know where it was going. It was like I had a leaky bucket. And
Yeah.
there I was wanting more money and wondering why nothing was budging and I wasn't seeing any increase in my financial situation. Then after about 5 different people and 5 different courses, and like there were people, courses, mentors, friends. Everyone was saying, oh, yeah, I'm getting into learning how to manage my money. And this other person was like, oh, you got to read this book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's all about how to manage your money. And I must have had at least 5 nudges from the universe, like you were saying, signs that you have to act upon,
Yeah.
until I was ready to go. Because I was kind of like one of those people where, like, if you don't look at money, it's not there, it's not a problem. You know, I used to kind of like bury my head away from focusing on it because I didn't like how it looked at the time. Whereas I was
Right.
like, right, I'm tired of this situation, I'm tired of these patterns. So I listened to Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and didn't just listen to it, but actually implemented the advice, the methods, you know, with whatever money comes in, whether you make £2, $2, or $200, 2,000, whatever it is, that you actually divide that money up into multiple money jars or bank accounts, right? So that you're always putting a percentage of all income, large or small, aside into these pots that are going to be building month on month towards, like, I have one jar that's set aside for financial investments, another one that's set aside for play and fun, another one that's set aside for self-education, another one for giving to good causes. And as soon as I did that, obviously my money month on month appeared to be growing because it wasn't all just disappearing again. But number
Right.
two, my income streams actually started to grow for no logical reason apart from the fact that I can conclude that when the universe saw that I was ready to handle more money, this income stream started to grow, that business started to grow, YouTube got monetized only after I was a container that was ready to handle more money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with everything, like you're saying with relationships. People might be saying, oh, I want this kind of person who's going to treat me like a queen. But then in the same breath, they're saying, oh, I don't know what it is, I'm just attracted to the bad guys, you know. And it's like they're physically not attracted yet. More
Mm-hmm.
of attraction, they're not physically attracted to someone who might treat them like everything that they've ever wanted. And
Yeah.
it's, I guess, about becoming attuned to finding that attractive, and that your dream person might be walking right past you every day, but the
Mm-hmm.
brain isn't like attuned to seeing it, you know?
Yeah. Yep, exactly. I mean, and it's funny that you say that because, when I was having a really rough time, my story, even a year ago, like I started a podcast and it was under a different name and it wasn't getting published anywhere. Same thing with my YouTube. I was only getting like 100 views of lifetime views,
Mm.
and I didn't start seeing like good views until I put almost 300 videos up because I think the universe wanted to see, like, are you going to stick with this?
Yeah,
Are you going to stick with this? Because, I never used to stick with anything, and now I do.
absolutely.
So,
It's exactly the same.
and like 5 years ago, when I was going through my rough spots, I wasn't meant to do this type of stuff. I wasn't meant to help people yet. And I had to go through everything that I went through in order to be right here, right now, to be able to help others. Because
True.
now I have more experience. Same thing.
That is a fantastic way to look at it as well, by the way. For anyone who's watching this who's going through an incredibly tough or dark time, like, you're
Mm-hmm.
literally writing your inspiring story day by day, and it's going to become that best, most powerful tool
Mm-hmm.
to be able to help potentially hundreds or thousands or millions of other people. So it's
Yeah.
so awesome
And
to hear the way that you've, taken everything that you've grown through, and it's now your way to help people.
yeah, I didn't, my husband passed away 2 years ago, and I didn't lay there and let life just pass me by. I was like, first of all, I had to keep my mind busy, especially in the beginning. But then it turned into something really beautiful with the YouTube and stuff. And I started off doing makeup, and then I played around a lot, and I told my story there. And then I got into the hygiene and stuff, and now I'm starting a second YouTube channel. I have almost 31 people on there already, and it's amazing. And almost 7,000 subscribers, like, on the other one. Like, it's amazing like I said, you have to meet the universe halfway, and you have to put in the legwork too. It can't just be, a one day thing either. You have to work on yourself every day, and that's with life in general. You can't stop working and loving yourself, because at the end of the day, you're all you got. You're all you got. You might have the support and stuff, and that's fine. But people do come and go. Life
Mhm.
changes, and sometimes you just got to learn to be with yourself. You've got to learn to be with yourself, because if you don't sit with yourself, you can't sit with nobody else. You can't help other people, you can't love other people. And that goes with relationships, that goes with friendships, that goes with family,
Very true.
and work too. Same thing with work, you know what I mean? And you'll also notice when you start to have everything flow and you start to do all this work that me and Lucie are doing, you'll start to see that you will end up working a lot less, but in the beginning you really have to put the legwork in,
Hmm.
and it will get easier.
This is true. This is true. It's important to acknowledge actually that collectively, you and me, we've probably put, I don't know, thousands of hours into
Mm-hmm.
working on ourselves and working on our mindset and working on our businesses and working through all of this stuff, which then has helped us to both strengthen who we are and to have
Mm-hmm.
developed what we've developed business wise and YouTube wise. Very true.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
not just a script it and it happens kind of thing. Scripting's part of it, but so is all
Right.
the work.
Yep. And your thoughts are so powerful. What you say, what comes out of your mouth, and what you think is very, very powerful.
Mm.
Very powerful. And you know it's kind of like a karmic thing too. What you put out there, you get bad, and it goes with negative and positive. And you know the more good you put out there, the more positivity you put out in the world. If we want a change in this world, especially with everything going on, the change has to start with us. The change has to start with us, because that will be make it, that'll make it more loving, that'll make it more peaceful. And a lot of people right now are actually going through spiritual awakenings. They're going through a lot of different things, they're seeing a lot of different things, what's actually really going on with everything that's going on right now. They're
Mhm.
seeing how things actually are.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. We've come a long way since 2004 when The Secret was first published. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
2004, and actually looking back, and when we said how it didn't give the full picture. I mean, also on the other hand, the full picture couldn't have been dumped all at once. Like,
Yeah.
you know I would say that was, I mean, that information has been around for thousands of years, but in terms of like modern day awareness of it, for it
Mm-hmm.
to become so mainstream so quickly, The Secret did an amazing job in bringing that to millions of people who had never
Oh
even
yeah.
heard of the concept. And then it's kind of like through that, along with Bob Proctor, Neville Goddard, a few of the other, sort of big law of attraction people, Abraham Hicks, of course.
Yeah.
And then thanks to things like YouTube, it's made it accessible to the many rather than to the few. You don't
Right.
just go to a library knowing that you want to look up a book about something. You can just type it into your computer and have 50,000 videos that could give you the answers and provoke new thoughts and give you a new level of awareness. So that is, I
Right.
think, why people, the global consciousness is growing so exponentially right now.
Mm-hmm. And my thing, I think honestly, everybody's advice is amazing, and I think that you should always take that type of advice from everybody. You should take a little bit of something from everybody, you know, because that's how you learn, that's how you expand. But you should also form it into your own thing too, and learn how to do it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, make it fit you. You know, that's why it's good. It is good to have a coach and stuff because they can put you in the right direction of where to go.
Yeah.
They could teach you how to expand and stuff like that. And YouTube is amazing for that too, but it's sometimes it's good to have that personal, connection too. But YouTube is awesome for information. It really is. And it's amazing that we can sit on this platform. We don't have to go to a place to be on a TV show anymore. We can just get famous right here. You know what I mean? And it's amazing. Like, really, it is.
It's true. Same with the music industry, that's completely changed. Someone's got
Yep.
talent and they're willing to put it out there over and over and over again. That's how people
Mhm.
get discovered these days. It doesn't have to be through, just one massive record label. Same with the movie industry. It's all completely evolving, and whoever's willing to put themselves out there and create the most content will get discovered.
Mhm. Yep. It's amazing. It definitely is. But no, yeah, you should really take advice from every single person that you watch, that you resonate with, and then kind of mold it into your own too, because
Yeah.
I think that's also how you expand too. You know, that will expand your mind more than just listening to somebody else
True.
and completely taking and molding their idea.
Yeah.
You'll
Nothing beats
expand
building.
more. Yep, you'll expand more when you do it for yourself as well.
Well said. Amazing. Well, Ashleigh, thank you so much. This was such a beautiful conversation. I'm glad we could record it and share it on our channels. Um,
Yeah,
I'll make sure that on my channel, if people are watching this on my channel, I'll put the links to Ashleigh's channels in the description.
me
And
too.
as we alluded to briefly, we won't go into too much depth, but we actually are business partners now, building a team of like-minded people to work with. So if those of you who've been drawn to this video would like to actually have an opportunity to work alongside us, then we'll put some details in the description as well. That could be a
Yes.
beautiful way to manifest more of each other into our lives.
Yes. And honestly, Lucy is amazing. She's a beautiful person, and working with her is amazing. So you'll definitely feel a part of the family that, we will guide you in the right direction for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ashleigh. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up before you go so that I know that this was valuable content for you. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring my bell so that you never miss one of my future videos. Until next time, bye.